not only am I leaving this particular job here, but I'm actually going to leave the whole trade. It was scary because I always had a plan B. So this time, no plan B. I have to get out. You don't want to die with the music inside, do you? The darkest moments were when I felt alone. When you don't have that support there, it can get quite scary for your own mental health. But the freedom part is that when you work for yourself and you love what you do, you never work another day in your life.
So today on the Freedom Architects, we are joined by Luke Mollica, success mentor and founder and co-owner and CEO of Mindset Mastery NLP. So welcome to the podcast, mate.
Oh, thank you, Jim.
No worries. Before we dive into all the magic that you do with your clients and with NLP and all the amazing students that you've got, you have a very colourful history. I'd love to hear, and I'm sure that the audience will, about, who were you before you stepped into the world of business?
Well, I've actually been in business for a long time, but never fully self-employed. It was always that part-time self-employed. So the previous life, per se, was part working, in the print trade, and in the bookbinding part of the world. So my trade, it's like a trade bookbinder and finisher is our terminology that we'll classed as. And, learning how to, make books and print books, as in like how we bind them up. And I think the attraction was more about the finished product. The doing part wasn't so fun. But the part that led me to where I am today was that because of being in the trade and the environment that I was in, I always knew there was something more out there. The environment that I was in wasn't very supportive of like any sort of dreams I may have even shared in the workplace. People would say, well, why do you want to leave this place? This is a great place to work at.
Interesting when you were binding books that probably shared a lot of dreams and stories and expanded people.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, those people didn't read those books. That's okay. And I feel that I was always looking for more regardless because, like I mentioned, that being that partly self-employed, as in like maybe 50%, I had that experience of working, one-on-one with my own music school for like 22 years. And to be inspired to teach what I've learnt. And also, musicians may understand this, that if you're practicing every day, you become a good player. So it was an opportunity to practice more for myself. But the best part about that is now, like 25 plus years later, seeing people that have learnt from you that are like touring artists around the world now. So I know that the work that I've done from my past was always going to leave some sort of mark on the world. It was that courage to step away from that kind of work, the old self, the old worker, the old tradesman per se, and really step into the new version of myself, which was a bit scary at first. However, the exciting part was stepping into uncertainty, and there was no plan B. Yeah.
So what was that moment that you realized this can't be it? Because like you've said, you've been in the bookbinding world, you've been musician, you've been teacher to other musicians, trainer, mentor since 2019. You've done so much. What was, whether it was that transition to mentoring or to what you do with Mindset Mastery, like what was that kind of pivotal moment that it was like, this can't be it?
Well, I know the exact time. It was literally 3 weeks before I started to do my own NLP training. I learned from somebody else. And I was planning to leave the trade after the training in the March. And there was an event with the boss at the time. He was having one of those days. And it gave me the opportunity to say, you know what, not only am I leaving this particular job here, but I'm actually going to leave the whole trade. Thank you so much. Grabbed my pay and I was out the door and didn't look back. And that was 7.5 years ago. There was that pivotal moment where it's like, I started to see my own value before I even did or completed the training. And it was scary because it was like, I always had a plan B. Plan B was, I've got the music school and I've got the backup with another job here. So this time, no plan B.
What was there a really low point? So a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs talk to, that low point in their lives that kind of started even that thought process of maybe I could do my own thing. or I have to get out of this? Like, what was that low point for you?
Well, that was one of the low points. Was that I have to get out. It was like, you don't want to die with the music inside, do you? When it comes to showing your best version or your evolving best version. And I always knew there was something within me that had something to give to the world. But I didn't have a lot of people at the time. This is way before I met my wife. I was in that space of like, there wasn't much support around me. I had to fly my own flag before people could actually say, oh, wow, you've done all this stuff. It's like, yeah, but the darkest moments were when I was alone, or when I felt alone. And when you don't have that support there, it can get quite scary for your own mental health.
You talk a lot in conversations that we've had and seeing you interact with other people in the community. You talk a lot about the various mentors you've had through your life. What made you decide to be the mentor?
I've had different people who I've looked up to as the mentor in the past, local mentors per se. I think I learnt the hard way of putting them on a pedestal. I think the challenge with when we are looking to seek a mentor, we can put them on that pedestal. And when an event happens where you're disappointed, it could even be your favorite rock star. You go, oh, wow, I want to be like that singer or that drummer, for example, if you're an up and coming musician, and then they go just do something silly and you're thinking, oh my God, I don't want to be looking up to that person anymore because they've got this bad habit.
Well, I did hear it recently. Someone said, never meet your idol. Like, it kind of sounds like that sort of scenario, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually have met some famous musos, but it's more about even the ones who I haven't met and still be inspired through their music to be the rock star that I deserve to be. It's like, and define the word rock star. It could be in any industry, not just music. So these mentors, I did put them on a pedestal. And what I learned over time, that when I would discover a new mentor, that I would remind myself, hey, Luke, you don't need to put them on a pedestal anymore. Be inspired.
Yeah, of course.
But not, when it comes to modeling, because we'll talk a little bit about modeling later on, is that, as we evolve, we would come across a new mentor at some level to help us grow to the next level.
I mean, let's bring up modeling now. So, I agree with you. Like, I find mentor after mentor, whether they are in person, whether they are online, that whole concept of be, do, have, if you don't know what you need to do next, find someone who is doing it and figure out how to take it there. How do you talk to modeling?
Well, in regard to modeling, they've got something that you don't have. Now, let's say, example, there might be a client who may be earning more money than you and you're the mentor, but you've still got something that they don't have. They might have the money, but they may not have the great relationships. So there's more than one area of life that you need to work on. There are like multiple, if not up to 8 or 10 different models of life. It's like you could be financially free, but yet your personal relationships are, gone south, or you have a drug addiction, or you don't really care much about your diet. So that comes down to we would call a limiting belief of some sort. But where we're steering clients to now is not just about believing in themselves, it's to find a space of, knowing themselves more. So when it comes to that, the different areas of life, is that not only they're ticking the boxes financially, but they're also starting to recreate their evolving version that has an awareness of great relationships. They're working and that's not just personal, intimate relationships, but also professional relationships too. Because that big word that comes up for a lot of people that's not spoken about enough is two things. Self-image is one of them, which we'll talk a little bit down the track. But self-sabotage is a great one. It's a subject that we all know about, but we don't speak enough about it. So and identifying a self-sabotage, most people are still walking around their life not knowing that they've actually done it until they've done it probably 100 times over.
Yeah. I mean, look, you have built an amazing school with your partner. You've got Success Mentor. You're about to create online programs. Like you're constantly growing and evolving and learning.
Yep.
I guess through it all, what has made you commit to building a business that serves your life and your mission, as opposed to being that 9 to 5, Monday to Friday,
I've always had a desire to be self-employed, like 100%. But I didn't have the support back then to grow that to a level that I could have the life that I desired. It's only been like the last 10 years where I've had that support, so I can grow. So when you think about your environment, to where you live, where you work, how can you be successful in your own right if you haven't got that support around you? So if there's no support at work, well, maybe there's change jobs, or you find a way to work part-time or be partially self-employed. I've helped clients do their own exit strategy from their own workplace into self-employment, or if they're self-employed, they're making the money, but they might work in other areas of life.
Where do you think that you say that you've always wanted to be self-employed?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Well, I feel from my dad. Dad, he's always a people's person. He did do Santa Claus even when he partially retired. He just loved people. I think it was always in that DNA. So for myself, interacting with people was always something that lit us up. COVID was really hard for us because we love connecting with people. But, as a young boy, I see Dad interact, being very jovial, and everyone would love Tony because he always cracked the good old dad joke for one purpose or another, but he would get a lot of joy seeing people smile. So I think that whole people connection has always been, not only my DNA, but I've also lived it as well. And I seriously cannot see myself doing any other kind of work than this kind of work.
Could not agree more. So we've spoken a lot about where you've come from.
Yep.
Let's explore what you're working on now. So what does your business engine currently look like?
Our current one, well, we do have a training company. We run NLP and hypnosis and timeline therapy training programs, certified programs. That's been our business model since 2019. On top of that, we both, myself and my wife Carol, we do one-on-one work as well, mentoring, helping people with their trauma, or we say limiting beliefs, and helping people to see, even through the work I've done over the last 6 years with those clients, I've identified some other areas that in that shift from where they want to be is knowing more about their self-image. And through a lot of study that I've been doing, you talked about mentors beforehand, and there's been quite a few different books that I've read in relation to self-image. The business model is slowly changing. Still doing the certified training, all good. But in regard to what we're delivering personally with our programs, I've seen something in the market that needs to be spoken about again. And when you think about being self-initiated, so for example, you don't need initiative to get out of bed and do your thing. You just do it. But there are a lot of people that sit in both worlds, where 1 minute they have lots of initiative. They've probably got initiative for like the weekend, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
It's the weekend, yay Friday, and all that kind of stuff. But it's really about, well, if you had initiative in every moment in every day, that you could achieve a lot more than what you set out to be.
It's so interesting to actually take a moment to do the work and sit and look at the different states and the different people that we play depending on different times of the day or different times of the week, or different times of the year even, and who we can be in those times. What's been one of the most challenging moments for you in your business life?
I could say the challenging moments has been seeing my own self-worth, have been the person I've always desired to be. And even though we'd run a successful training company, especially in the early days, there was always something more that I was looking for. but also I was the behind the scenes man. Yeah, like I would take care of all the behind the scenes stuff, the books, the this, the that, the material, the enrollments, etc. I thought I've got a lot more to offer here.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I've been doing mentoring for a very long time. Like 1992 is when I first started mentoring with my own music school. So it's like, you know what? It's time, and this is because I've been modeling, certain mentors that have activated that thought of like, I've got something more to offer.
Yeah.
So when you think about that, and I explored that new version and modeling someone, the information that was coming through that I was reading, watching, listening, and also there was some tasks involved as well, that what was unfolding was this new self-image. I'm like, oh, this new self-image, what's this new self-image all about? What does it look like? What does it feel like? The environment supporting the growth, got a very supportive wife, all good. But there was something else that was evolving, and I didn't know at the time, but some of the study was starting to identify how the way I would dress. It's like, do you dress for success? How do you walk? How do you speak to other people? How do you speak to yourself?
Yeah, things that just kind of come naturally that we don't normally think about, right?
Yeah. How do you speak? Like the self-talk is massive.
What's a tool or a shift, a belief, something that helped change the game for you? Like for somebody out there that is wanting to step into this mentor, maybe for themselves, maybe for other people, what's a tool or a strategy that supported you?
Well, the strategy first and foremost is that you've got to be coachable. Yeah, and I know that it's a generic word, being coachable. And then you would say, this question could be to yourself, scale of 1 to 10. Are you coachable? Go, I'm a 7 or an 8 or a 10. But let's go a step further than that. This is where we're stepping more into mentorship, not just being on the coachability index. Do you have the willingness to accept change? So if you have the willingness to accept change, you've already stepped out of that, the uncertainty into certainty, because you know that if you keep growing, that's a new strategy. There's a strategy for everything. And the strategy moving forward is having that self-awareness that something's got to change. And then look at, well, who can I be mentored by? And the mentor could be someone you don't even know. It could be, if you're even an actor could, mentor you through a movie or a book or an audio book. I mean, we've all listened to a lot of audio books.
And I think it's also just not just about accepting change and finding the mentor, but then actually physically doing the work.
And what does that
mean?
We've
got the vision.
And what does that mean to you? Do you know what I mean? Like it's the question you ask yourself, what does, the shift, like when you're talking about the shift that goes into the certainty of the new self-image, what's the strategy? And the strategy could mean simply opening up a book, or listen to an audio book, or for some people who like to live on social media, they'll see a reel of something and go, "Oh my God, who is this person?" And you follow them, and they'll just have some words of wisdom. But you've got to have that openness to change, that willingness to change.
With the journey that you've been on, and again, there's some exciting things coming for both you and Carol at the moment, and there always is with a growth mindset like yours. When you picture real freedom, what does that look like for you these days?
Freedom means life on your terms. It's like life by design. And that's still evolving for us. There's a lot of work behind the scenes, as we know, to grow any sort of company. But the freedom part is that when you work for yourself and you love what you do, you never work another day in your life.
Correct.
And it's been said many times, and it's true. You could work a 15-hour day and still have a happy smile.
And I mean, the fact alone that, Carol's off enjoying meeting her grandson and seeing her family in Canada and traveling, and that's something that in a big corporate role you might not be able to do if if you don't have the annual leave. So
I gave her annual leave, so that's okay. CEO's talked.
What kind of legacy are you building, mate? So what are you building? I
love that word, Jim. It's a key word that's been lying dormant for a long time, because I've seen, and when we see some of the best musicians or the best mentors that have passed away in the last, 5, 10, 20 years. And I often think that if I could leave a legacy to even change one person's life, it's worth all this effort to do all the hours, the preparation. I already know that I've already created impact.
Yeah, definitely.
But the vision now is creating impact at a wider scale.
Yeah,
and in different in different key areas of life or different industries that I probably wouldn't normally go for in the past. So it's this new exciting journey that's coming through with the program that we're writing. One thing that has really brought to my awareness about the self-image that a lot of people don't think about self-image.
Yeah.
If anything, the words they speak to themselves are quite negative.
Yeah.
And because of that, their own think and feel, they go, well, I don't deserve, like their limiting belief or their self-talk would be, I don't deserve to be successful, or, I don't deserve great relationships, money, I've got to work hard to make a living.
And this course is going to change that. So,
the self-image, the thing is, the course is not called self-image.
Yeah.
The course is called Initiative.
Yeah, yeah.
And what I found really interesting is that when we work on the self-image, initiative or self-initiation comes to us a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah.
We get out of bed and we can do our thing because we're self-initiated.
Yeah. Where
for some people, they just need a bit of a course to
some guidance,
put them on the right track,
some mentoring. Luke, it's been absolutely fantastic speaking to you. Before we wrap up, yes, I'd love to do some rapid fire. So just a few questions that I think support people to feel like they're not alone.
Yeah, certainly.
What's one belief that's holding most entrepreneurs back?
Well, they use the word lack of self-belief, but I would say it's more about a lack of knowing oneself. Once they know self, they won't have that lack mindset ever again.
One strategy or tool that you'd never go without again?
The strategy for me would be having the right people around you that support you.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't talk about that. The old saying would be, you're a product of the top 5 people that you hang out with.
Yeah.
So you could be working on yourself and doing all these things, but if you're not in the right environment.
Yep. Successful people don't do it alone.
No.
One myth about freedom-based business that you wish we would all stop believing?
Well, the myth is that you can sit in Bali and not do any work all day, the laptop,
and call it a business.
Call it a business and have the laptop lifestyle.
Yeah,
it doesn't exist, guys.
Yeah,
you still got to have actionable steps to do the work. So what's being presented and what you will see on social media is like this freedom lifestyle.
Yeah,
freedom is what you think and feel,
what you believe it is.
What you believe it is.
You make it.
So that is certainly a myth. I've seen even the people who are doing that. I know they're not sitting they're on a laptop, but they're not just at the pool drinking pina coladas all day.
Yeah,
they're doing way more than that behind the scenes. They're working 12-hour days.
Correct. One thing you'd say to the version of you just starting out?
Well, firstly, about the top 5 people. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Secondly is find a mentor. That, like, whether you work with them one-on-one or not, but just find someone who you can model to be your best version. Do not put them on a pedestal.
Luke, it's been absolutely fantastic having you here.
Pleasure.
For those, which I'm sure there are many that are listening that have connected with you and what you do and the impact that you make, where can they find you?
Okay, so we have 2 websites, but the main website for our current training business is mmnlp.com.
Yep.
For our trainings. Now, for my program, it is myselfimage.com.au.
Awesome.
It's going to be the program.
And we will put those links somewhere so that people can jump on them. But Luke, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.